Previously on episode 1, we learned that SEO is a process of getting attention to your website and how it evolved from the 1990s to the present. With the digital age, it is important for us not to overlook this skill. So, let's take this advantage and be more pro on SEO. Search engine optimization, or SEO, is an important skill professionals learn and use to gain more audience to visit a website or a certain web page. So why is it an important skill to learn? SEO helps you be more visible on the World Wide Web, especially to the types of audiences you're attracting and targeting. Implementing good SEO strategies also boosts your brand's credibility online, thus gaining the trust of your target audience. Apart from all of these, SEO is actually a cost-effective marketing and communication strategy because you don't need to spend a single peso. To get many visitors to your website, there are two types of SEO you need to take note of: on-page SEO and off-page SEO. On-page SEO refers to optimizing your website based on your content and the technical aspects, such as the HTML source code, schema, and meta tags. Off-page SEO refers to the actions outside your website to improve its ranking on search engine results pages or SERPs. This can actually include you sharing your content such as your articles or videos on social media pages. Be reminded that off-page SEO relies heavily on people's behavior. Trustworthy websites that have informative, reliable, and relevant content are usually the ones shared by the online audience. Aside from people sharing your website content, it is also important to know that word of mouth also boosts your popularity and thus increasing or improving your website ranking. Now that you have an idea what is an on-page SEO and also an off-page SEO, it's time to know more about how search engines like Google and Bing work. Think of search engines as spiders who crawl on different websites to look for codes on content. After crawling comes their ability to index the information they found by organizing them and storing them accordingly. After all of these, your search engine bots or your spiders will be ranking each of the information they found, and they will be ranking them from most relevant to the least relevant. To get started with your SEO, you need to know these basic tools to implement your strategies. Number 1, use a good domain name and have it registered on a domain registrar such as GoDaddy, Google Domains, or Bluehost. Consider having a unique yet memorable name so that it will stick to your audience's mind and encourage them to return to your website. Utilize a hosted or self-hosted website platform. A website platform allows you to create a website and manage its content plus the technical stuff, even if you have little to no coding skills. Examples of hosted website platforms include Shopify and Wix, while self-hosted website platforms include WordPress, Joomla, and Drupal. Use a reliable web host. Web hosting is simply offering storage space to your website on special computers called servers. Credible web hosts include AWS, HostGator, and GoDaddy. Remember to create logical site and URL structures, meaning your online audience and the search engine bots should easily navigate and understand your website. Make sure to categorize each of your web pages as simple as possible. One of the most effective ways to compartmentalize your website content is to create a mind map to see what web page is under each of the categories of your website. Ensure that each of the URL links is relevant to your topic so that the search engine bots can rank your content accordingly. The last thing you need to do is install a good SEO plugin such as Yoast. An SEO plugin helps you optimize your metadata. Your metadata includes your page title and the meta description, which are embedded in your code. Remember a while ago, search engine bots are usually looking for codes. Giving them a good metadata will help them understand your website and rank them accordingly. After registering a good domain name, using a reliable web host, making a mind map of your web pages, and installing an SEO plugin, it's time to know how you can create content that can rank on search engines. Step number 1, you need to establish your search intent strategy. Let's say you are going to write an article about Instagrammable cafes in Metro Manila for a lifestyle magazine. In order to execute step number 1, you need to ask these 3 simple questions. Number 1, what are the keywords your target audience are using to search for Instagrammable cafes? Number 2, what are the problems you are trying to solve for them? And number 3, what are the solutions you can advise? Step number 2, develop a content strategy. A good content strategy requires research on all of the information you will be sharing and conducting an analysis on all of the articles related to your topic. Here's a tip. When making a content analysis, make sure that you take note of how each article is structured. Going back to our example scenario, the best way to know the relevant articles to your topic is to Google each keyword and look at the results. All of the links that will appear in the first page of the SERP or your search engine results page contain the most relevant information that have been ranked by the search engine bots. Step number 3, make the content of your article different but relevant to your audience. When strategizing a good content, make sure that you put yourself on your audience's shoes. Ask yourself, what does my audience need to know? What can I share with them? How each of the information I share help them solve their problems. In the Instagrammable cafe article, you can always answer the questions of the 5 W's and 1 H. That is who, what, where, when, why, and how. Step number 4, always add a high-quality media content to your blog or article in the form of images, videos, tables, diagrams, polls, quizzes, and the like. Adding this unique media content will help your audience be more engaged and experience quality, thus making your website or web page popular in the World Wide Web. Websites that have quality and engaging content tend to be more popular on search engines. Here are simple ways you can use and implement to create engaging content on your website. Grab the attention of your audience with a striking phrase or by asking a question that is relevant to their situation. People tend to stop on a web page to read the article that resonates with them. Use short paragraphs to make your content easy to read. The attention span of people online is shorter than you think. So, make sure that your paragraphs are straight to the point and concise. Tell authentic or real stories that will reflect with your reader. Your readers would like to know how your content will help them solve their challenges. Make sure to break your lengthy texts or paragraphs with your high engaging media content such as your videos, images, polls, diagrams, and the like. Stay tuned for the next episode where your SEO knowledge will be put to a test as we learn